Hello, this is cybersecurity expert Reginald Andre, and I am cold. Today is Saturday, December 24th, and there's a big blizzard happening here in the US, and I'm cold. And yes, I'm in Florida, but I'm still cold. And I'm doing this from the outside today because I am traveling and the lighting wasn't too good in the house. So just doing this from the backyard with the natural lighting. So today we're going to be talking about Rackspace. Obviously with Rackspace, they had the big attack where the emails weren't working. I did several videos, and I know we got a lot of views on them, over 500 views on even one video. So thank you everybody for watching. But since then, for the last 2 weeks, I didn't make any new videos because I didn't want to start making videos to make videos with no new information. We want to make sure that our subscribers and people listening really do get valuable information, things that you can now take and like say, okay, I learned something from listening to this guy talk for 5-10 minutes. So this is why I didn't make a video. But yesterday and today, Rackspace did make some major announcements, and I thought it was needed to kind of explain this to you in just regular English and not tech limbo. So let's start giving you some information. So the biggest thing in the last 2 weeks that was told is that Rackspace did partner with Microsoft, which Microsoft calls their fast track team. Their fast track team is a very elite unit of Microsoft engineers. I think there's about 3,000 of them. And what they basically did is they helped Rackspace because obviously they were overwhelmed with support calls. So Rackspace assigned different clients to Microsoft's fast track team so that they can help their customers move over to 365. So I'm sure there was still a back deal where Rackspace had to pay Microsoft, but Microsoft, of course, was more than willing to help because more people were going to come into their platform and not possibly Google or somebody else. So that was one of the biggest things. Another thing is the CEO announced that it is confirmed that it was a financially motivated threat actor. And what that means is that this ransomware attack, they wanted money. A lot of times you'll see attacks on systems, and it's just maybe a kitty, which means like just someone doing something just to mess with you. There's also where it's ex-employees, where maybe they still had access or they just wanted to, again, just to disturb things in the company. But they did confirm that there was a financially motivated threat actor. The CEO says that he wasn't ready to disclose how they gained access to the exchange servers, the amount of ransom they demanded, or who's behind the attack, or even if they paid the ransom. I personally don't believe they did because it wouldn't have been this long. But he says, they do plan on providing that to the community. And that's really good because a lot of times these companies do get ransomware and they don't tell how it happened because there has to be lessons learned from this for other people, for other businesses not to go through this. So they are still working meticulously to upload the remaining data into their portal. So what they're saying there is that they are able to have people's information. And what they're now doing is uploading all of your old emails that, from the past years. People have had this service for over 15 years. They've had this. And what they're now doing is now they're uploading the data into the portal. So the servers are still not up open to the public, but they are putting them in test environments where they hired a cybersecurity company, and it's a very respected company called CrowdStrike. So what they're doing is they're putting CrowdStrike tools and their engineers on the servers to say, okay, let's scan the systems, let's look for any active threats that may be on the systems, let's clean them, let's check the backups and things like that. So that's great that they're working with CrowdStrike because that is a great company to have hired in order to help remediate this situation for this. Now, one thing that did get a lot of press is the CEO. He made a comment, which I personally didn't like either. He said, it's only 1% of our overall revenue. And this is him doing because they're a public company, they have to now report to their shareholders what's happening, and they're regulated. So they have to, talk about these things. And this is why we're getting so much information. And he says, we're $3 billion business, and this only affected about 1% of our overall company revenue, and we don't expect this to have any impact to our company overall. Now that's true. You're $30 billion, $3 billion, and only 1% of your revenue was affected. That's pretty good. If you had $10 and it's only one $10 and it's 1%, it's what, 10 cents, not even. So it's pretty good in that aspect. But what if you were the 1%? What if you're the 1% right now? 3 weeks later, you still don't have your emails. You're still down. You're still going through this. You still had huge losses because your customers couldn't contact you, or you had to pay your IT team a lot of money to move you. That's that's big, right? That's gonna cost you a lot. And just hearing from a CEO that it's 1% of our customers, it wasn't good. I think the PR people should have stopped the CEO and says, hey, this can't be here because you still have people that are affected, and that 1% is people that trusted you to secure their data. So yeah, it's only 1%, but it was a service that you were providing and you didn't do a good job. So again, I just think it's salting. People's livelihoods, businesses are down and things like that, and their neglect didn't help the situation. So another thing that has happened is that it says 3/4 of the affected users have moved from Rackspace hosted environment to 365. So that's good. 3/4, 75% of their customers have now moved out. So that means only 25% are still down. That could be because maybe they can't afford it. Maybe it's a domain that they're not using as much. Again, Rackspace is a much older system. I even talked to some people that were telling me, like, yeah, I've been moved away from Rackspace, but I had these old domains and I just kind of let it sit there. So that could be it as well. Another thing that was mentioned is we are proactively notifying customers for whom we have recovered greater than 50% of their mailboxes. Now, this is big news because they're saying that they're able to recover their mailboxes. And the way they're able to do that is in what is called a PST. And PST is an older way of how the inboxes are, how the mail is contained. Let's put it that way. However, there's some issues with PST files. There's a reason Microsoft no longer tells people to use PST files, because it had a very, very good rate of getting corrupted. So there's a chance that the PST file can be corrupted. There's a chance that something was wrong with the individual's PST file. There's a chance it has ransomware. Like there's a lot of things that there's chances that something can happen. So it's great news that they're in the process of recovering the PST files. But PST files, it's kind of like saying, we're going to restore your data, but how we're restoring it, it's not that reliable. I mean, it's better than nothing at this point, but it's still a concern. So as I mentioned, they're working to get that information. And now the Rackspace is saying that once it's available for download, the PST files will be available through the customer portal for 30 days. Now, for me, that didn't sound right. So you're telling me your systems weren't protected, you got ransomware, we've been down, we've had IT headaches, we've had to pay overtime, we've had to, pay IT budget for all of this, we have to find the money. And you're telling me that after you are able to retrieve my data, you're only giving me 30 days to retrieve it. And if I don't, maybe I don't have the money, maybe I didn't see your email, whatever the case is, you're telling me that you only have 30 days to then download it. I think Rackspace needs to do a much better job than that. I think they need to have a third-party company call them and say, we got your data. Do you need help restoring it? We're going to connect you with them, whatever team we have. And if they need a year, if they need 6 months, whatever, just keep it there, right? At this point, just keep it. Why are you giving customers only 30 days to retrieve their old emails? And then after that, it's gone. That's it. You're going to delete it because you need the hard drive space. So that was the only thing that was a little troubling to me. Well, not the only thing. There was many things, but that was another thing that was trouble to me. So there you have it. That's the Rackspace update. I try to keep this under 10 minutes. I hope this was useful. So I saved you a lot of time from going through the Rackspace support and reading all of those updates. So there you have it. And by the way, someone is mentioning in the comments, well, how do I know if they did get my information? So there is a link that Rackspace has put out. I'll put it in the comments below, and you just follow those steps. And then if you follow those steps when you go inside their portal and you see that the information is there, then that's how you'll know. But if you follow those steps and it basically it's going to say, sorry, we don't have your data at the moment. So just keep on checking there, and I'm assuming they're going to email as well, but I think they should just go the extra mile and just hire a third-party company to also call their customers. So definitely look out and follow those steps. Take care, everyone.